Hey everybody, and welcome back. My name is Sue and I'm from OML Embroidery, and I'm excited to show you guys this video. This is my first day with my new Luminaire2, and you can see by the hoop I'm using the big hoop. And I had a few issues with it, and it's not the machine and it's not the hoop, it's just me, because the hoop is massive. So this design is, of course, from Anita Goodesign, and I showed you guys the apple that is also from this collection. And I've put my fabric down, there's batting underneath, there's some quilting stitches, which is fine, and this is just the preliminary work. Now most of it is just stitching, so I didn't record all of that. It's just the arrows that are crossing on the weather vane for a rooster. I do know it's a rooster. I'll probably always call it a chicken though, just because. So I have nice colors picked, and it's easy to do. And of course, I wanted to see how it would look so big in such a big hoop. It's absolutely fantastic. It is called the Crazy Blanket Stitch Farm Quilt, and there's adorable designs. I did a video on the apple. If you want to check that out, there'll be a link in the description. That's the first one I did. But this one, I wanted to tell you guys about using an extra large hoop like this. It is 11 by 16, and which is quite the size, and I love it. But I had issues trimming and a little bit with the placement because the hoop is so large. So I didn't have enough room on my desk to put it down to do proper trimming, and I tried to do it at the machine, and that just simply never works. So I need to make a little more room on my desk or pull up an additional table to lay the hoop down. Then I think it would be fine. Now in my setup with all the cameras and wires and everything going, there is nothing behind the Luminaire2, and thankfully, yes, because this hoop goes way back, and I don't know if you could find a desk that's out far enough. I have no idea, but I think that's a big thing that you need, is enough space to use this hoop. It's really bigger than you think it is. But anyways, I thoroughly enjoyed this design. I made a gorgeous wall hanging, which I'll show you guys at the end. I absolutely love it with the apple block. So we're going to start with our applique. Now I'm using kind of like a light yellow color, so it's hard to see for the placement. You can kind of see it a little bit. I didn't always record all of the placements for you guys, but I'm just picking, it's crazy quilting with a blanket stitch, so I'm just picking pieces that are from the layer cake, and I guess I have a fat quarter bundle of the fabrics that kind of go all together, so it ends up being really nice because it's matchy without being matchy. So of course, once you put your fabric down, then you are going to stitch it down, tack down we call it, there we go, and then we need to do a little trimming. So I did film my struggle with the hey I didn't trim that. All right, I guess I'll trim it later. I just noticed that, and of course I'm going to add a funny little clip on it, but I don't know why I didn't trim it. So applique number 2, and we're moving a little bit down. Now this fabric looks great. It's the green opposite of the background fabric. Maybe could have used a little bit of ironing there, but that doesn't usually happen with me. So we're going to stitch it down. Now I'm keeping the same colors. I originally intended on using burgundy for everything, but you'll see later on I decided not to. So I trimmed that out. Try not to look at the hack job I did. This is like my first applique trimming when it dawned on me when I realized that I was having troubles with the big hoop. So here's the next one, and this is the green opposite of the fabric over the first one I did and didn't trim. So I'm trying to make sure that everything fits in properly. So I'm going to place it down and I am going to stitch it down. And then of course I'm going to do a quick little trim on it. And oh, what happened? I don't know if you guys saw that the first time, but Applique chicken failed. I like our little chicken guy. I'm going to try to use that. So it's just a tiny bit off, but yes, it's off. So I trimmed that. Now we're going to do applique number 4. I'm kind of bringing in a little bit of a darker color. The greens still match, so that's okay. But it's supposed to be crazy quilt, so you can pretty much do anything you want. This is why I love the layer cakes. It makes it so much easier to pick your fabrics. Now this, applique number 5, this is my favorite fabric. I use this in the apple as well, and I just love it. There's a burgundy, and I think there's a brown that pretty much matches it. So I placed it down, and now, of course, our next step, and I'm sure this one's big enough, our next step is to stitch it down, and of course it's going to go around it twice, which is lovely because of all the trimming problems that I had. I don't have any problems with the machine. Again, it's just getting used to the hoop. So I hacked that out, cut that out, and we're going to go on to applique 6. Yes, there's a lot of appliques in this, but remember it is crazy quilting, so there's supposed to be. So for this one, I show you the placement line, and it might have been better to use a little bit of a darker thread on it so I could see it better, and so you could see it better, but I didn't. So there we go. We'll just leave it at that. And I'm using another, it's basically a scrap piece of the opposite to the green, the background, which I think is a really, really nice effect. So I'm enjoying that. And they all kind of blend in. I don't want to put them like beside each other, but look, isn't that cute? Now it's starting to look like a chicken rooster. Sorry, it's a rooster. I'll still probably say chicken. If you notice, I labeled all the appliques as chicken as well. So I'm going to step out on this one and pick a little bit of a darker color and kind of bring the brown and the burgundy into the chicken. Just, I had that piece and I thought, hey, what the heck? So it's kind of like the chicken rooster's body there. It ends up looking pretty good. It's kind of, it stands out because the rest of them are green, but it does match in with everything. It's his wing, so it's kind of cute. I kind of like it. So yet again, another applique, and you could see all the little pieces of fabric bouncing around on the hoop, and that's because I couldn't put it at the desk. You know, apparently I'm really liking this green because I'm going to use it again. It doesn't matter. You could do these crazy quilt with all the same fabric if you wanted to, just moving it in different angles. But I like it, and I had scraps of it that I wanted to use up, and some of these smaller pieces are absolutely perfect for that. So it all works out. I don't think anyone's going to say, hey, you're using the same fabric again and again. So just do what you want, do what feels good. Next applique placement. Yeah, I'm really sorry there's a lot of fabric residue on there, but the next one will be better. The next one will be better. So placement line, and I am going to take my fabric and put it down. And I like this fabric too. So applique 10, we're really getting there. This is awesome. It's starting to come together. It's starting to look like a rooster. And I was pretty close on that one, but I didn't call it chicken because it didn't actually go off the fabric. So phew, it's pretty close though, pretty darn close. Applique 11, I'm bringing out the scrap, actually. Crazy quilting is fantastic for scraps. Oh, there's our chicken again. Oh, boy. Did you guys see that one? That was way off. Way off. Oh well, that's okay. Hopefully the stitches will cover it over. Now, I switched my thread to the burgundy, and it's going to do lovely, lovely satin stitches on the rooster. And it just looks great. It matches the burgundy in the fabric. You can see in the darker greens. It's there, and I should have put more in the brown, but it's also a little bit bright too, which kind of draws your eye to that part. And of course, satin stitches are my favorite because even if I trimmed it crappy, this is the one that I actually left. I have no idea why I didn't trim it out, but anyways, it's looking good. It's looking really good. So now we're gonna start with the blanket stitches. So these are the finishing stitches for this design, and I am doing it in burgundy, and I just didn't like it. You can kind of see it, but you can't. It didn't stand out enough. So I opted back for that yellow. So the same yellow on the rooster feet and that I used to tack down everything is what I decided. And I just literally just put it over the burgundy. And look, you can actually see it better than the burgundy. So I just did one row of it. I didn't pick it out or anything, but now we're going to go and we're going to do all of the pieces with this gorgeous blanket stitch finish design. Now there are color stops for each one, and you can really, mix and match your colors. But I stuck with just one. I just really enjoyed the yellow. Look at how beautiful that has come out with the yellow. I just loved it. I thought it looked great, and I'm glad I did it. Even though my trimming isn't the best, it just doesn't matter at this point because it looks so good. He's such a good little rooster. So the yellow I'm happy with, kept it all the way around. But, it'd be nice if you did different, or if I did different shades of green maybe, or tan or something like that. You can be very creative with this. There's lots of opportunity for creativity. So, applique 12, my goodness, we're getting there. It hardly feels like that we've stitched 12 appliques. It does go quickly, but do remember to always take your time trimming, because the better you trim on this one, you can see I have kind of rough edges. The better you trim, the better it's going to look. So I always recommend that you trim at your desk so you can turn the hoop. So that's applique 13 now, bringing in that pretty green that's kind of sprinkled everywhere. So we're doing the rooster face. Oh, I said rooster. There we go. That works, doesn't it? We're doing the rooster face now, so just little appliques. We're almost done. We're going to do lots of finishing stitches. And red, the burgundy, sorry, I said red, burgundy again for these, I don't know what they're called. Someone will have to comment. I know what it is, but I can't think of it. So it just matches the top of his head. So it works. I like it. The red, the burgundy kind of looks a little bit brighter than it does in person, but that's okay. So now we're going to do satin stitches, and I switched right back to that beautiful light goldish yellowish color that I've been using just to bring it all together, and I think it's gonna look fantastic. Now we are gonna be stitching the beak, which I just keep going with the same color because I thought it would look really good. Here's a nice effect. They changed the angle for the fill stitches for the beak to, it almost looks like a different color, but I didn't change colors. So after that, we're going to do a whole bunch of detail work, and I'm doing it in the yellow, and I'll show you in a minute how it turned out. I love it. It was so much fun doing the extra, extra large size. It was fun for my first project on my Luminaire. My Luminaire is awesome, by the way. It's a Luminaire2. And I love it. So I thought you guys would enjoy seeing my first attempts and the troubles I had with the large hoop, and it's just a matter of using it and getting used to it. So I'm going to show you what he looks like done, and then I'm going to show you put together in the gorgeous wall hanging that I made, and I just love it. This is one of my favorite things I've done. So look at all the detail work with the gold. Isn't he beautiful? I'm so glad I used the same gold color throughout the whole design. I think it looks awesome. There's also sashing sides that you stitch out. I showed you how to do it on the apple, so I didn't record it for some reason. So isn't that beautiful? Beautiful. Now look at my wall hanging. So all the sashings, it's the same fabric. Look at my apple, and I did some books just to fill in the spot. So beautiful. Again, one of my favorite ones. I'm going to hang it up. So thanks everyone for watching, and happy Mother's Day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.